All right, there we go. And we're live? We're live. Okay, so today we have Facebook here and we have YouTube there. YouTube is being run by my beautiful, amazing husband, so very much. We are being joined today by Macarius. And we also, in the background, who will not be on camera, will have Mercy and Blake and Chris. And they are joining us for a lesson because they helped me clean up for the lesson and because they were here for readings earlier and decided to stay for the lesson and the ritual. Hi, Leah. I'm so glad you joined us on time. I hope the baby's clean. Yay. Hi, Eric. Very nice to see you. Well, I mean, read you. Yes?
Meyerbat. Hi, Auntie Sarah.
I love you. So we're going to start with a quick, that is the cat. We're going to start with calling the corners, and then we're going to do a thankful ritual for some of you who have experienced the week I've experienced. The hi, Clay.
Wow, Clay's on.
Yeah, for some of you who have experienced the week I've experienced, the thankful part will be really hard. But it is super important to be thankful as we mourn. So there will also be, please, please, please comment, like, subscribe, ask questions while we're going. I have a production manager over on the YouTube side who is stopping me and going, hey, this is a comment. I have my Facebook right here. I'm reading it. My 3-4 guests will be asking questions as we go along. Please, please, please ask questions as we go. So we're going to start by calling corners and creating our sacred space. I call the guardian of the east and the element of air to watch over this circle. If the candle wants to light. There we go. Just so you're aware, this is wet. Or this is south. No, that's south. This is north. That way. I'm tired.
I call upon the guardians of South, the element of fire, to watch over the sacred circle.
You have to push the button and pull the trigger. I call upon the guardian of the west and the element of water to watch over the sacred circle. That's not the right one. It's because it's smaller, but it's the only blue one they had.
Mm-hmm. I call upon the guardians of North, the elements of fire, Earth, to watch over the sacred circle.
And the lesson here is, don't take anything too seriously because all rituals mess up. That's the way it works. This will happen a lot during this because this doesn't always go down and tell me who's here. Come on.
Okay.
That's right.
This is not a false statement. Asking the fire sign to call Earth leads to stuttering.
It's being. I call upon the feminine divine to watch over and guard this sacred circle. You call the masculine. I'm going to find out who just joined us.
I call upon the masculine divine to watch over and protect the sacred circle.
Vivi West and Christine Lewis. Awesome. Hi, guys. Okay. I'm going to take a minute with my wand. This is my beautiful wand that my brother gave me for my wedding. We're just taking a minute to remember. Okay. The circle is cast. The sacred space is set. And we are between the worlds, where life and death is one, and the veil is at its thinnest. And I'm going to start a ritual tonight by talking about why we talk about what we're thankful for. Now, Americans have this tradition, and this is really starting to bother me because it's not going to be what I want to. Americans have a tradition where they talk about this being a holiday about the colonizers coming over here and almost starving to death and the Native Americans saving their dumbasses and teaching them how to eat off the land, and then we took all their land from them. And that is not how I celebrate Thanksgiving. For me, Thanksgiving is about being thankful for a bountiful harvest and knowing that I'm going to survive the winter because my pantry is full and I have friends and family. So, for me, given the week I've had and the week many of you have had, I say I am thankful to the universe and the divine for my children and my family, those who have gone and those who are still here. I am thankful for the roof over my head, my car, the food in my stomach, and good friends who are here to support me when I needed it.
I am thankful for my continued employment. So, however long that continues to last. The continued money in my pocket providing for my family. My wife, who keeps me out of my own dredges. And yeah, everything that the universe has brought me this year.
Chris?
Thankful for my family, biological and not. Thankful for the growth I've had this year and people that have come and gone. My health. May have already said that.
Blake?
I am thankful for my friends and family who have helped me through this past year and the amount of change I've been able to do in separating myself from toxic situations, allowing myself for new growth and happiness. I'm thankful for my bunnies and other furry animals at home.
I'm thankful for your bunnies, and you should post all the pictures, and we should be great friends on Facebook so
Oh,
we can
yes.
see pictures.
I will find you. I'll show you all pictures.
Mercy.
I'm thankful for my continued health and for my new relationships and healthy relationships of the current state.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to speak?
I'm thankful for the family at which I have, the job at which I am able to grow and become more in, and the relationships, old and new, that I get to continue to thrive in.
I would love to hear what you guys are thankful for. Or read, please. Comment, talk. Speak at me. Ask questions. Tell me what you're thinking. So, normally in a Thanksgiving ritual, we would write down our blessings and we would burn them, send them away, give them back to the universe. Today, I posted another live video. I encourage you guys to go back and look at it. There's a YouTube post as well, a YouTube live stream. My way of giving back is we created a set of 12 bags to give the homeless for the holidays. In them, we were lucky enough to find hats, gloves, scarves, socks, washcloths, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and a lot of food. We filled to the brim, almost not being able to close those little bags we get at the Dollar Tree. An important part of this year is to give, because what we put out into the universe comes back to us. Hi, Cindy and Maya. And it's not working. I hate it. Facebook hates me. There we go. I'm thankful. Leah says I'm thankful for my family and my husband being in my life. I love you, Taryn. Aww. I love Taryn too. And baby Ivy. We had baby Ivy here last night. I was very, very happy. It made my heart happy. Everything we bring in from the universe, everything we give out to the universe, it's all connected. And as we send things out into the universe, it rebounds on us. We say threefold, some traditions say tenfold. It is basically the law of karma. So what you put out, you get back. It is a firm belief of mine that my bad knee, my bad ankle is because of the dark crap I did in my world. Dumb, fall high, and the universe took its toll. So I believe if we give back to the universe, we give back to those who don't have. We acknowledge that there are those out there who need our help, and we help where we are needed. We get things back in return. I'm not saying that you should only give because you get things back. However, you should give, and that's an important part. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
I would completely agree. I would agree with the statement you shouldn't give just because you give back. You should give back. You should give back because you were given.
Yes, I agree. When we made bags for the homeless this time, our major benefactor was surprised by an amount of a boon that he was unexpected to get. And he used it to supply what we hope is not our last round of bags. But as they are ranging about $200 a month, that's might be our last round of bags. As nobody we know just has the amount to just drop that randomly for no reason. Ooh. Cindy, I am grateful for my many loves and all the support they offer me. We love you, Cindy. I'm trying to keep up, I promise, but my laptop is lagging. I mean, it has better internet, so that's nice.
I have a question pertaining to the bags.
Yes.
How much does each one of those bags tend to cost? Just in supplies.
That's a really hard thing. Hold on just a minute. I'm happy for my littles and Marcia. Without her and them, I wouldn't have made it through this year. It's nice to give without expecting anything. Seeing someone's happiness is enough. I agree with you, Leah. That is very true. Each of those bags. I don't know. We buy things 12 at a time.
I would guesstimate somewhere in the range of $15 to $20 per bag
Yeah.
on a good day.
Yeah. And that depends on what we put in them, because we don't always, like this round of bags, we put a tuna salad, a box of tuna salad with the crackers, a box of chicken salad with the crackers, the peanut butter cups, the fruit snacks, which we don't usually do all four. We'll do one of those. I'm going to turn my chair a little bit and hopefully not mess up the cameras too bad, but hopefully we're just going to move this forward now that the circle is cast. It just wants to lag a little bit. Okay, fine. Sorry I'm behind. But yeah, the bags are extraordinarily expensive, and most people don't expect it to be. Hi, Sandy. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Angel. I am grateful that Mom isn't in pain anymore. I am too, Angel. That's kind of where we're getting to. Sandy, I love you too. I miss you. Sandy's my cousin. On my dad's side. She married Char's son, Dan.
You know, I was trying to think if I actually met Sandy.
I don't know that you have. Sandy, I don't know if you know, this is my son, Ethan. It's my oldest. Well, the rest of my children are not home. They never come stay with me. Anyway, the other part of this ritual, once we're done talking about Thanksgiving and being thankful and giving back, will be a morning rite and talking about Vicky and explaining that whole situation. So, ways to give. It is super important that we give back to the universe in the way that works for us. For instance, it doesn't make sense for Tim to try to hand out homeless bags as he does not drive and he does not have a way to carry them around. That is why I take the bags with me. They sit in my car. I have a large car. It doesn't really bother me to put them in between my seats and just hand them out as I'm driving around, as I drive everybody around anyway. Bye, Angel. If you come on later in about 20 minutes, maybe 10, we're going to do stuff for Mom. So, I love you. Hi, Catlin. if you're able to volunteer in soup kitchens, volunteer in soup kitchens. If all you're able to do is take a young child under your wing and talk to them about where their life is going, and life really isn't as bad as it seems to be to them, and it will get better because they're only 17 and he still lives with his dad, and I know his dad treats him badly, but he reaches out to Tim every week, and Tim drops everything and talks to him because the kid needs guidance and an adult figure who he trusts. And that's how Tim gives back. So when I talk about giving back, I will always talk about the bags because that's what I do. When I talk about Vicky and I talk about my Blackthorn and how my Blackthorn gives back, I will talk about Paco and Jay and how Tim and I are paying probably $500 more a month in rent to make sure we had a space for these other children rather than just getting a 1-bedroom apartment. That was so much cheaper. Because the kids needed a place to be. Because I felt a calling that my sister felt, that both my sisters feel, all my sisters feel, to raise children who are not our own, to help those who need help. It is how I went from I'm never going to have an apprentice again to having 3 official apprentices and so very many more that I'm not counting. Because they need to learn and they need to know. And yes, pass out hand warmers to the homeless. It gets very cold at night. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. When my benefactor was making way more money and paying less on his house, we would go to Red, White, and Blue, which is my favorite thrift store on McLaughlin in Oregon City. And we would buy sleeping bags because they have them there for like $5. It does not matter the size or the quality of the sleeping bag, it's $5. And so we would just buy them in bulk, like $30-$40 at a time, and I would just keep them in my car, and I would just pass them out everywhere. Coats, backpacks. So if you guys have extra blankets in your closet and don't know what to do with them, I will gladly take them. I will put them in my car and I will hand them out to people who need them. Yes, Tim.
Ren has a message of a heart, and Meyerbat has Mom and her habit of picking up various strays.
Yes. Yes. It is long believed amongst many of us that in a past life, we as sisters passed our children off to one specific woman over and over and over again. We love you, Apocalypse Mom. In this life, Apocalypse Mom has one child and has adopted my children. And the 3 sisters in this life have gathered every single child we could possibly find to us who needs a home. And I tend to find children who have homes that just aren't as happy as they should be, and give them the safe place and a place to be who they are. And not even necessarily that all of the children who come to me need a safe place to live. They just need a place where it's safe to be them. And that is what I provide. Even if it's only for the weekend or the 2 hours a week they're able to be here to game or whatever. My house is a free zone. My house is a mess all the time because there's people in and out of it crazy. However, my house is a free zone. If you walk in here, I expect you to drop your mask at the door and be you. And if I don't like who you are, I'll tell you. But, and then we'll work on that. And it is not a matter of I will just accept you as you are. No, we will work on it until you're a normal human being.
I will say, as far as giving back goes, that's why I particularly like working in customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Especially my job. Because I can sit there and help people constantly year-round.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people think that with your, especially with your job, you know, you're just a call center for Sprint, right? But you think that until you talk to the 82-year-old man who doesn't know how to use his smartphone but can't make a doctor's appointment without it and can't get right to care without it, and is literally like, if I don't get to the doctor, I'm going to die.
Mhm.
Um,
And then suddenly, not only have you fixed his phone so he can make calls and all that, but you've also knocked $30 off his
his
bill,
bill.
and
So he
made
can
sure
eat
that
that
he
week.
could save money every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a totally different story. And that can be said for every walk of life, every career mode. Working is the same. Especially if you're in customer service. Mercy's new job. It means so much for people to be able, for you to be able to go into their home and actually give them the companionship and such to clean, to help, to whatever. You met me when I was living with Bailey. Understandable. That's true, Leah. That's true. But that's the thing, though. I seem to find children whose home lives are just not what we all expect them to be, not what they expect them to be. You know,
Karen
Taryn.
is
For
a great example of that.
really long time, Taryn's dad honestly believed that I was trying to sleep with him because I would let Taryn come over to my house when Ethan wasn't home. And why would an older woman let a teenager come over and hang out with them unless she was trying to sleep with him? And I was like, what a horrible, horrible life you must lead. That's where your brain has to go. Clearly, this is why your children need help. So, that being said, I am thankful to the universe that I have internet and that I am able to do these weird classes, and I have the knowledge and this ability to research and find these weird rituals. And I'm glad that I have people who watch and want to know and want to learn, and that my knowledge does not just sit in my brain and rot away. So, does everyone know why I'm about to put a glass of water on the altar? Anyone?
You can't say they do, actually.
Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Constantine?
Yes.
What does he use water for?
He used water and electricity to pass between the realm of the living and the dead.
The realm of the living and the dead. So water represents our connection to life and emotion. And there's a reason that the dead row across the river Styx. And that it's always a river that passes you. We are born in water, we die in water. When you are born, you come out the water of the womb. When you die, the water leaves your body. It is fact. So when we start a ritual to remembrance to move on, yes, Leah, that's a terrible thing, but yeah, that's what Taryn's dad thought. When we start a ritual to honor those who have gone beyond and to acknowledge anything on the other side, we always do it with water, because water represents the veil, that which is over there, that which is what we cross over, that which we use to ferry us from one side to the other. We pass it over the circle at least 3 times, acknowledging that water comes from all directions, and we set the water between the divine, asking for their guidance to honor she who has gone before us at this point. Now I say she who has gone before us, but this last year I have lost a great many people. And while this specific ritual is for Vicky, whom I knew as Salaith, my sister, my older sister and sometimes bully, who was, I think, younger than me in this time around. I take just a moment before I light Vicky's candle. This is going to represent Vicky. And we'll light for several days in my house. pretty much every time I think of her, we're just going to stop and light the candle. It's kind of how it works. When the candle's done and it's all gone, then we accept the fact that she is a memory in our hearts and that she has moved on to a better place, and we no longer expect her to be here and watching out for us and remembering us. Well, I mean, she'll always be with you. She's always going to be in your heart. As long as you remember her, she's alive. However,
We
it
can
is-
stop expecting her to walk around the corner.
it's super important that we do not hold her here in our grief, that we do not make her feel like she has to stay in order for us to feel comforted in our grief. That we still require her presence, even though we miss her so much. Now I'm going to get all teary-eyed. I'm going to take a moment before I light her candle and talk about all those others who I miss, who I have felt as the veil thinned. And that would include my own mother, Gloria, who for the last, hi Joshua, for the last month, I've smelled her perfume through my house, and those horrible, horrible cigarettes she smoked. And that laugh of hers that you have so much. There has been Ian and Bruce, yes,
Knowing her, she'll freaking nag us for eternity out of stubbornness.
fact.
Fact.
But maybe not, because she will stop by just long enough to go, I told you, stop that bullshit, and then she'll run off on me, because that's how she does. Do I pour libations too? Hi, Sarah.
She spends all her time knocking on Chris's door.
Yeah, because she wants to talk to Chris.
Yeah.
Sometimes I pour libations. If you guys have, you especially in my sister's home, Maya, Marbet, however you want to be called today, if you have mom's favorite drink, by all means, toast her, pour it out on the ground. Outside, not inside. Don't do that. Don't make a mess. Don't make a mess and then tell people it was my fault. I mean, because that happens and y'all know you do it. But by all means, pour the libation. I do not. As one, I don't drink anymore, so I don't have any libations. And number two, I think my apartment's a frown on that. It's also why we're not burning papers. One of these days, I'm going to drag my computers out to Joshua's house and do a proper ritual in front of his fire pit, where we will burn all the things. And I will bring a whole group with me, all 13, Joshua, all 13.
We did libations for her last night.
Thank you. So I want to remember my mom, Ian, Bruce, some who have gone later than that. Logan, Ogre,
Trudy.
Trudy, we lost her this year. Grandma Krieger, who was extensively mean to most people, but I loved the woman. That being said, I miss my Aunt Char. I miss Aunt Char like there is, like, I can't even explain. I hadn't seen her in years before she passed, but my God, do I miss that woman.
Diana.
Diana. Oh, goodness. Okay, Aries, my Aries.
Pookie.
Raj, Pookie. Okay, now we're just getting into animals. Okay, that being said, we're going to start this part of the ritual. I'm going to get super serious here for a minute. Yeah, Ogre. I'm going to tell a story about Ogre before I start the serious part of the ritual. My friend Ogre, we called him Ogre because when I met him, he was 7'3", and he had a super deep voice. And I kept telling Joshua, who was wonderfully gay at the time, I mean, he still is, but you know what I mean. About this man that he had to come over and meet. And then he would come over to my house and Ogre will have just left. Or he will have just left and then Ogre would come home. And this went on for like literally like a year and a half. And then like to the point where Josh would go, "Hey, what are you guys doing today?" "Oh, I'm hanging out with Ogre." "Everybody hold on, I will be right there." And so for a long time, Josh just didn't believe Ogre existed. And I would literally go, "Ogre, you can't leave. Josh is coming." "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Okay." So I'd go to the bathroom and I'd come out and Ogre would be gone. And there would be a jar of peanut butter and a loaf of bread missing. And when he stayed with me, I'm telling the story. When he stayed with me for like almost a year. And I would buy like 5 or 6 loaves of bread and 3 or 4 jars of peanut butter at a time. And they'd be gone in a week. And I was like, "Holy crap, I know that you're 7 foot something, but Jesus." And little did I know, I find out that all the times he would just randomly disappear because Josh was coming over and he thought that was super funny, that he would make an entire loaf of peanut butter sandwiches, put them back in the loaf and take them downtown and hang them out and hand them out to street kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, that's awesome. If you will tell me that's what you're doing, I will buy extra food
Yeah.
and something better than that. So stop it." And so we started buying peanut butter and jelly mix and then bags and bags and bags of chips. And like, just take these with you. I mean, still prank Josh. That's fine. Just do it the right way.
Do it the right way.
Oh, favorite story of Ogre. I was knee high to a grasshopper, like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And Ogre used to chase me around the house because I'm 3 years old, running away, gigantic. We had this archway. I just come sprinting around the corner, right through the archway. Ogre was bent over, like running after me. He went forehead first in the archway.
He would forget how tall he was. And he would only bend like this and not like all the way.
Yeah.
And so he would just slam his head on the archway, knock himself cold like
out.
3-4 times. My favorite story. I've got 2, and I will wrap this around, I promise you. My favorite story is we all went to an event, and we show up at the event in garb, because that's what we do. And Ogre is wearing his favorite garb, which is a collar, leash, a cloak, and a loincloth. And we we're in Canby of all places, and we decide to go to the local McDonald's. So we go to the local McDonald's, and I am wearing this bodice that literally takes me to here. And I have Ogre's leash. And we all order. And Ogre is just sitting behind me, towering, going, "What are you doing?" And we get up to the counter, and the guy behind the counter is like, "Oh, can I help you?" And Ogre looks at the man and slams his hand down on the counter and goes, "Ogre want meat!" And the little boy literally ran. And I was like, "Ogre." And he was like, "What?" And so the manager comes up. "Is there a problem?" And the guy's like, "No, I was trying to order a Big Mac. I don't understand the problem."
I don't understand the problem.
And this is how we wrap it back around. That same event, Vicky comes to the event. And at the time, Vicky's 19 or 20 something. And she is, I don't know, 5'2", 5'3", and really thin, and has this really long, gorgeous red hair. And Ogre was camped with us, and Vicky needed a place to stay, and Stuyven was like, "You can sleep in my tent." And we were like, "Stuyven, don't touch the pretty girl. Because she's young enough to be your kid. Don't touch the pretty girl." And Dad's like, "I know what no means." So they shared a tent. I get up one morning, and Vicky had twisted her ankle or something, but she is literally sitting on one shoulder of Ogre. And he's got his hand here, holding her up like she's a 3-year-old, and he's walking her around the event, and she's smiling like a princess.
Oh my God. How tall she is at that point.
And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Ugh. And that is my sister Vicky. All right. We're gonna get into the serious part of this ritual for those of you who are still with us. We're done talking about ogre and people who have passed more than 16 years ago. But he is family and she is family, and I know they're out there hanging out together going, I remember that. Hi, Rosella.
Ain't that the truth?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere in that great beyond, there is Ogre and Logan and Vicky, and they're all together now, and that should just frighten
worse
everyone
than
on the
that.
other side.
It's worse than that. It is Ogre, Logan, and Vicky chaperoned by your mother.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. All right. We're going to start this up. This
They said
candle
that's the party that greets us. So.
represents, right? They're just marking the way. This
Mhm.
candle represents my sister Vicky. And with its lighting, let me start this up again. I'm sorry. I invite you all to pick up a candle. Any candle you have. You don't have to call corners. You don't have to lay out the altar that I have, pull out the wand, do whatever. Just grab a candle. You're going to light the candle, and you're going to follow along with your own memories.
You should give him a second to grab the candle.
That's why I'm babbling, Mercy. Thank you.
That wasn't.
I don't know if this is scented. Is this scented?
It is. It's linen.
Linen. It smells like soap.
Yep.
Which is really funny because this is not something. I wish I had one of her candles. Vicky tried to run, was running this wonderful thing called Blackthorn Body Works.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Right? And I have body butter that is dragon's blood and shea butter.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is
I see it every
amazing.
once in a while too, and it's just sitting around the house.
Yeah, it's because
Should
I
be
use
in the
it.
bathroom
It is in
now.
my bathroom. And I don't know how she made it. And I'm hoping someone does.
Okay.
She's not going to make me anymore. And I need some. Like, it's not a I want some, it is a need, it's imperative. I need all the dragon's blood scented things. So everybody grab a candle. Hi, William. You just got to the memorial part. Thank you for joining me. That's weird.
With my grandmum too. They're having a grand old time, probably.
Probably. No doubt. What?
Who said that?
Myra.
My bad. Yes, any color candle is okay. It does not matter. What matters is the flame. The flame light attracts the spirit, and the smoke from the candle carries our wishes and our messages to them. This is why you grab a candle and you light it every time you think of her.
It's much along the same lines as the Greeks believed with burning offerings to the gods. The smoke and the smell of the offerings burning translated to a feast for the gods themselves.
Right, exactly. Same kind of principle. So today, I grab my candle and I say in my Thanksgiving ritual, I thank the universe for my sister, for bringing her back to me, for the time I spent with her in this life, for everything she taught me and everything we ever did together. And this is how I know that Vicky is joining us today, because the candle didn't want to stay lit and it's being a bitch. I am thankful for my sister. I am thankful for everything she taught me and the time we spent together. I am thankful for the life she leaves behind, the lives she leaves behind, the family that she built and welcomed me into, even when I was a petulant child and blamed her for things that were not her fault. I am thankful for my other sister, who is probably not watching and may not watch this at all. And everything she taught me and everything that she brought me and everything she helped me to build.
I heard my I love you. Like right here.
Thank you.
That
For those of you who
direction.
can't hear her, Mercy said she just heard someone say, I love you. I have no doubt of that. I am thankful that my sister went peacefully in her sleep because the alternatives were really bad. I am thankful that the powers that be did not let that drag out as long as it could have. And you'll forgive me, I have not actually given myself a chance to cry over this, that it's just happening whether I like it or not. I am thankful that she is no longer in pain and she is no longer trapped inside of a body that betrays her on a daily basis. I am thankful for my loving husband who tries so hard to make me process my feelings and sits over there and silently rants when my feelings processed on their own. He spent an entire day trying to force me to cry and force me to accept that I was aching, and I still haven't done it. And I'm not. That's not happening. I don't have time for that. I'm in the middle of a life lesson. All right. I am thankful that Vicky, regardless of being Salif, regardless of our connection in Blackthorn, anything, I am thankful that Vicky gave me a chance to be in her life and know who she was. Do you have anything to say here?
I know from stories that I've met,
Hey, Sarah, hi, Justice.
Salif.
Yeah.
However, I wish I would have had more time, as I don't remember any of those stories, and don't remember Salif as well as I wish I did.
Just funny because I'm pretty sure you know both her kids. They're Comic-Con cosplayers.
I have no doubt.
Comic-Con every year.
I have no doubt.
In fact, I think I've seen Facebook pictures of you in the background.
No doubt. Like I said, I don't.
It is something we should fix.
Yes.
Anybody else? I don't care if it's about Vicky. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I know it's been too long since I've done ritual. My ears are very uncomfortable right now.
Oh, do they feel like they should be pointed?
Very.
I know. It's nice, isn't it?
It's been a while.
Yeah. I do it like once a week now. It's awesome.
Thankful for my.
We're
Anything.
thankful for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
I wanted to add one more. Like, I am thankful for everyone that's been there to support me this year. Like, he has been there through thick and thin through this year, which is many times I should have just figured out myself. He's been there to help, and I'm very thankful.
Thankful for my sight and my hearing.
I will tell you, like I'm really glad that you actually brought that up because that is kind of Vicky's calling. When I went over on Thursday to see the family, and they were doing an at-home viewing, we're very gypsy. And if they could have gotten away with it, I'm sure they would have kept the body in the house for 3 days. Complete with food and feast all the way around her if we could have gotten away with it. There were at least 4 children there who were not her own, but I know they lived there and I don't know who they were. But I know they needed a place to go and I know that they needed support that they weren't getting somewhere else. And I know my sister gave it to them. Wasn't even a question in my mind when I walked in that house.
I am grateful that she brought me into this world, and I wish that I had more time to learn all the lessons she wanted to teach, but I am glad she is no longer in constant pain.
I hope that you join us every single week. I really do. I will not teach the lessons like your mom taught them, but a lot of these lessons I'm going to teach your mom taught me.
Was Vicky an air sign?
I believe Vicky was a fire sign. I really
Really weird.
think that I'm the only one of the triplets that ended up an air sign.
It's really weird. Because it almost sounds like wind. I can hear
Yeah,
it.
that's
It sounds like wind.
Salif. Does it sound like wind or does it sound like wings?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a better description.
Yeah, wings.
I heard
Um,
a pray for you, and it sounded like wind.
Water sign, Cancer.
Water sign, Cancer. I'm surprised. And that may not be Vicky.
Who's that?
Might be Vicky.
Oh,
Or Trudy.
Mm, Trudy always was fascinated.
Vicky would not offer to pray for me.
okay.
Vicky would offer to put in a good word for those on the other side. As many of us believe that she actually passed when her throne and crown were done. So
Yeah, that's fair.
that's fair. There aren't many of us who question the idea that she is now queen of the underworld. That's
Shit.
that is just fact. That's
Wow.
it's Vicky. That's and her in passing nicknames. In passing nicknames. Wolf Queen, Queen of the Underworld, Light in the Darkness, Shining Star. These are just things people called her because.
Gurmom.
What?
Gurmom.
Gurmom. Or just Gur. I dare say, and Mana will argue it with me every day, but I dare say that if we are just going raw metaphysical supernatural power, Vicky was the strongest of us ever.
Wow.
Every time.
Wow.
Mana's the oldest, so we don't argue with Mana.
Mhm.
If we're talking physical strength, Mana could beat us each. They'd beat us literally with whips and chains and proper weapons,
Amazing.
and she will always beat me up.
Always did, always has.
Always did, always has, always will. Because I'm just the prophet. I'm just the spiritualist. That's all I do.
You're the nerd.
I'm the nerd. Yeah, her job was to be the priestess. My job was to be the seer, and Mana's job was to be the warrior.
There you
That's
go.
and we have always held those lines, always. That being said, I have no doubt she has always been the strongest of us metaphysically. And never wanted it, and never sought it, and never held it over our heads. Although I guarantee you, when I talk about this is the falling out we had, that is totally what was behind it. Because I was a petulant child and a spoiled brat, and was very angry that she would not accept the fact that I was as strong as she was. And she would just go, sure. And that used to make me super, super mad until I started doing it. And then I went,
Oh, that's
Mhm.
right.
right,
Right.
okay. So yes, I could sit here for the next 12 minutes. Is that how long I've got? Yeah. No. 17 minutes. And Firebat, subscribe to me on YouTube. Yay! Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Boost the signal.
That's the reason why these two are here.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I have 2 known people. Because Cece did what she was told and told her friends.
And don't forget about the gaming channel, because that's important.
Oh, we'll plug. Trust me. I've got stuff to read here, though. Okay, but no. Always make time for your emotions. Shush, Leah. Leah says, I'm thankful for my ancestors watching over me and my family. Yes. I can tell you that I've spent the last couple of days missing my sister greatly. I didn't get to see Vicky a lot, but I chatted with her online more than most people would expect. As both of us are mobility challenged, and we're very busy people. And we both adopt strays and therefore never have time for ourselves. But just knowing that I cannot just pick up my phone and shoot off a message to Vicky about, hey, this random thing happened you should know about, is deeply disturbing. I have spent the last week telling the family, no, I'm here, everything's fine, you guys are going to be okay, you guys are going to just be awesome, and I haven't cried, and I haven't let myself freak out, and I guarantee you Tim is going to suffer the wrath of that tonight. Because I tried very hard to hold it together through this ritual. I can guarantee you when the ritual's done, I will break, and it's going to be ugly. For those of you in the know who might be watching this, I don't think I have a Karen or Mana or whatever, but there will also be writing of crap and blog posting tomorrow probably tomorrow night as I work tomorrow. But yeah, that's gonna be a thing. When Ogre died, I was very sad, and I was very angry at the universe for taking him from me. When Logan died, I was shocked because it was 10 days before his 21st birthday. When Ian died, I was sad and I was angry at Ian because I felt like he gave up. When Bruce died, it was the same. With Bruce died, I was really upset because he was trying so hard to get back to healthy. When Trudy died, I expected it. She was old, she had cancer, we knew it was coming.
We actually had a lot of warning from her doctor.
Well, yeah, we had a lot of warning from her doctor.
However,
When
that
my
was
mom
literally a
passed,
week. We got the warning from her doctor a week. We thought we had a month.
yeah, when my mom passed, I was surprised but not shocked. And I had to readjust to a world without this woman who had guided me so much and made so much of who I was. And now I am back to a point where I am when Anshar died. I was surprised, but I knew it was coming, and I had to make adjustments to a world without that kind of woman in it. And Vicky is very much that woman. Whether she be Vicky, whether she be Saleh, whether she be Gur in her silliest moments, she was not just this woman. She was a force of nature. She was a presence in my life even when we weren't hanging out. Even when we weren't technically friends. She was a presence in my life, constant and always there. I think I met her just after Ethan was born. And the idea that that presence, while always there, always watching out for me, because she's my sister, that's how it works. But she's not here. It's a foreign concept. And that will take me a minute. And weirdly, and I know other people won't understand that, but I am thankful to the universe that I have the wherewithal and the mental capacity and the emotional capacity to attempt a world without. That I am able to stand on my own 2 feet, say I miss my sister, and I will move on in her honor and carry on her legacy and the legacy that she left behind and continue her work. So, for those of you who are in touch with her children, let them know Auntie Sarah is here. Auntie Sarah is a phone call away. Okay, that being said, I think I have been depressing enough. And this is what I'm going to say. This candle represents my sister. I'll probably carry it around the house for a few days until it's all burned out. However, keeping the candle lit is like expecting her to only stay here with me, and she has a lot of people to visit before she leaves completely. I love you, Vicky. I will miss you, and we'll talk soon. We're going to close up the circle.
May I ask what you said?
I spoke in a language you will not understand.
Fair enough.
I said a message to my sister. It was basically, go in peace and know that you are loved. You will start with this one. Remember, you're using masculine divine.
Thank you, masculine divine. Go in peace and in love.
We don't need hot wax everywhere, although it's already everywhere. That's okay. We thank you, feminine divine. Go in peace and love. Blessed be.
We thank you, powers of earth, guardians of the north. Go in peace and in love.
We thank you, guardian of the west, powers of water. Go in peace and love. Oh!
Knew
Didn't
that was
happen.
gonna happen. Knew that was gonna happen.
Never happened. We'll fix it in post. That is the problem with doing live streams. There's no post.
Thank you, guardians of the south, powers of fire. Go in peace and in love.
We thank you, guardians of the east, powers of air. Go in peace and love. And blessed be.
Blessed be.
Thank you, Aquarius, for joining us tonight.
Of course.
And Mercy, thank you for joining us tonight and bringing your friends. Blake, Chris, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And I thank you, Tim. Don't close that out yet. I have to do an outro. Thank you, Tim, for running my YouTube. And thank you all for watching. We do this every Sunday at 8 o'clock. And on Wednesdays, we're going to start doing several vlogs and a gaming channel. Sightseek Gamer will start doing, look at all the hearts.
Fridays. Every other Friday.
I'm gonna try to do every Friday.
You have fun with that.
Well, no, we do on one Friday we do Life is Strange.
Right.
The other Friday we're gonna do horror with you and me, or
Okay.
whatever we
Or
decide
whatever
to
we're
do.
doing at that time.
So
Starting
Sightseek Gamer will start probably not Black Friday, but the Friday
starting
after.
the Friday after.
Yeah.
Monkey King, the hero
Monkey
returns.
Monkey King. Monkey King.
Monkey King.
Monkey King. I have an obsession with the Monkey King.
There was a wonderful game that Sony had produced, and I bought it. And it is a wonderful, wonderful game, and it'll be great for Sightsee because I'm terrible at it.
That'll be amazing. That is going to be great. Okay, so the reason I pulled up my phone is we will be doing Wednesdays. I will try to do a daytime meeting or a daytime vlog on this channel that is just basically a day in the life of thank you for all the loves, but tell me who you are. There's just 1,000 hearts all of a sudden and nothing actually telling you
It
who's
says
there.
it in the likes. And then the hearts in the Facebook bit.
Oh, okay. And then, so that'll be on Wednesdays. And then Wednesday nights, I'm going to start trying to do a little bit of live stream from Quarter World on Sightseek Gamer, where we do the Smash Brothers tournament. It's a bar, so if you're not 21, you can't go.
You should talk to Quarter World about it specifically.
Oh, I have.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. They stream on Twitch.
I know.
And I've asked them if I can stream the general experience on YouTube. And they said that was awesome. And
They
I'm in
might
talks with them
even-
about running social media.
I was gonna say they might even just let you piggyback off their
Oh.
Twitch stream.
They've already let me link it.
Yeah.
That's not the question.
I meant dual stream.
No, we're talking, no, it's a whole thing. We'll talk
Yeah.
later. So that's going to happen. And then this Fridays will happen. And then Sundays will happen. So this is going to be a thing. All the time. If you have comments and questions, they need to be in by Tuesday. So on Tuesday night, I will read all the comments and questions on YouTube, on here, all my Facebook messages that pertain to this blog, Sightseat Plus. And at that point, then on Wednesday in my Sightseat Plus video, I will answer questions, talk about next week's topic, and that kind of thing, and remind everybody that I'm going to actually do another lesson on Sunday.
Also, keep an eye out for Double L Studios.
Double L Studios.
We're working on a couple of albums coming out soon.
Yep. And we're both going to be on them. We sing. Yeah. We're going to do some interviews with Double L Studios and the makers there. I have a great list of interview questions. We'll be interviewing Apocalypse Mom. We will be interviewing Steven. Yeah, we're going to sit Steven down, hopefully here in this kind of setting, and ask questions and like actual full interview with him. And that should be fun.
Should be.
Yeah, so if you want to talk to me about anything, comment, like, subscribe, boost the signal, spread the word, share with your friends, tell everyone. That is my outro. Like, subscribe, boost the signal. Can't stop the
Ring
signal.
the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell. Can't stop the signal, Mal.
The signal.
I like it.
Stabbing with a sword, Mel.
Stabbing with a sword, Mal. Who does that?
I heard this today. Shameless self-plug.
Shameless. Shameless.
Shameless. Shameless.
It is what I do.
All the time.
All the time. So yeah, that is my video. I love you all. Bat, if you need me, call me. Very, very important. If you need me, call me.
Have fun.
We love you. Good night.
Disney Plus has the Sis track.
Yes, it does.